One. Ready, guys? Good morning, Unity. Good morning. On a beautiful day.
Okay. One, two, three. I got a rice cooking on the microwave. I've got a 3-day beard I don't plan to shave. And it's a goofy thing, but I just gotta say, hey, I'm doing alright. Yeah, I think I'll make me some homemade soup. I'm feeling pretty good, and that's the truth. It's neither drink nor drug induced. No, I'm just doing alright. And it's a great day to be alive. I know the sun's still shining when I close my eyes. There's a hard times in the neighborhood, but why can't every day be just as good? It's been 15 years since I left home. I said good luck to every seed I've sown. Give it my best and then I left it alone. Oh, I hope they're doing alright. Now I look in the mirror and what do I see? A lone wolf there staring back at me. Long in the tooth but harmless as can be. Lord, I guess I'm doing alright. And it's a great day to be alive. I know the sun's still shining when I close my eyes. There's a hard times in the neighborhood, but why can't every day be just as good? Sometimes it's lonely, and sometimes it's only me and the shadows that fill this room. Sometimes I'm falling, desperately calling, howling at the moon. Just grow me a new tattoo, or hit my old Harley for a 3-day cruise. Might even grow me a Fu Manchu. Oh, ha! And it's a great day to be alive. I know the sun's still shining when I close my eyes. There's a hard times in the neighborhood, but why can't every day be just as good? It's a great day to be alive. I know the sun's still shining when I close my eyes. There's a hard times in the neighborhood, but why can't every day be just as good?
Thank you, guys. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. I'm Reverend Edie Crane, filling in for Rev Cheryl, who is out of town attending some family business. So it is my delight to greet you and welcome you. And if those of you who are tuning in online, welcome and feel the love coming through the camera at you. All is well. All is well. So let's take this time to settle in and say a prayer. So I invite you to close your eyes and just be fully present in your body this time, in this place. deep, centering, luscious breath. And let's fill our hearts with gratitudes. Gratitude for this beautiful day. Gratitude for our friends and our family. Gratitude for this loving, loving community. Gratitude for our connection with all that is. And this day, let us set the intention to be the very embodiment of love. That everywhere we go, every word we speak, every thought we think, conveys unconditional love all over this planet. And so it is. Amen. And this is a time where we'd love to welcome visitors. So if you're here for the first time and you're feeling brave, put your hand up and our ushers will bring you a welcome packet and you can get on our email list. Welcome. And we also have a little discount for you in the bookstore. If you go in the bookstore, there's a little discount. So welcome. Thanks for joining us. And now it is time to sing. Let us stand, and Jim will lead us in song.
I'm choosing heaven today. I'm choosing heaven today. I've been doing the road to heaven right now, saying I'm choosing heaven today. I'm choosing love today. I'm choosing love today. I am walking the road to heaven right now, and I'm choosing heaven today. I'm choosing peace today. I'm choosing peace today. And I've been walking the road to heaven right now, and I'm choosing peace today. I'm choosing joy today. I'm choosing joy today. I'm choosing the road to heaven right now, singing I'm choosing heaven today.
Greet your neighbors. Hey, Bim! Okay, let's start making our way back to our seats. I'm choosing heaven today. I'm choosing heaven today. I am walking the road of heaven right now. Singing, I'm choosing heaven today. Walking the
Road of heaven right now,
now, singing, I'm choosing heaven today.
Yeah, we're all awake and alive. Good morning. My name is Bill Sunderman, and this week's transformation opportunities are detailed in our community newsletter, and you can receive next week's edition by sharing your email with us. Please pause now completely silence your cell phones. Well, we are thrilled, pink and otherwise, to announce that the Big Spring Prosperity Fling online auction is live. Ooh. Carol Plummer will come up now and talk all about the excitement of the bidding already in full gear.
Right, great, thank you. All right, how many of you have bid? All right, what about the rest of you? Okay, all right, you still have a week. And in order to remind you, we have these cards in the lobby, so pick one up and take it home so that you remember. And you can also share this with your family, your neighbors, your coworkers. Give it to them so that they get online and bid. We have 145 items and over 30 gift cards, retail and restaurant gift cards. So there's something for everybody. Go check it out and tell everybody about it, because the more people you can get to bid from outside the church, that's more money that we have to support the church. Okay, so thank you.
Thank you, Carol. And if you haven't registered yet, you can do so at the back table with Edie or Zana after the church service. Thank you so much for supporting this wonderful event that greatly uplifts the spiritual community. It will be fun and prosperous for all. Now on Saturday, May 4th, 11 a.m., we will gather here at Unity of Gaithersburg to celebrate the wondrous life of our Lauren Goldstein. Please sign up in the back of the sanctuary for the potluck dish you will bring to share for the reception following in the education building. In lieu of flowers, the family has chosen to designate donations to Unity of Gaithersburg. Join us for the special love-filled honoring of a beautiful light that blessed so many in our church. Our annual Spiritual Education and Enrichment Week, SEE, is happening June 2nd through the 7th on our beautiful campus. Our theme this year is Shifting the Paradigm, Awakening to Our True Nature. We have a fantastic program in store with an array of classes that include Bible, metaphysics, discerning your life purpose, self-awareness, and more. Our faculty is Reverend Paul Hasselbeck and Reverend Robert Brummett from Kansas City, Reverend Russ Highland, Reverend Sandy Butler, and licensed Unity teacher Jane McCarthy. If you want to deepen and grow spiritually, join us for this amazing week of learning, connection, and transformation. Classes are $80 each. Register today on our website. And now, please center yourselves as we reflect together on today's daily word. Today's focus is transformed. Transformed. The affirmation, I am transformed in mind, body, and spirit. I am confident in the power I am to transform my life. When I perceive myself thinking in limited and fear-based ways, I remember what it takes to renew my mind and give me clarity. In any moment of forgetting, I take time in quiet reflection. I explore the ways I have limited myself through labels and descriptions that are not the truth of me. I journal my thoughts that uncover ways I've been in resistance to change. I become willing to step into the discomfort of letting go of self-made limitations. As I experience that release, I feel the gratitude and joy of allowing my inner knowing to be my true north. Today, I declare I am transformed in mind, body, and spirit. I am willing, I am courageous, I am strong, and embrace the new possibilities that await me. And from Romans 12:2, do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your minds. And now let's prepare for meditation by singing All Is Well.
As I close my eyes and the world disappears, I can feel my breath rise and fall. There's a light inside that dispels all my fears, and I hear a gentle voice call. All is well.
so in this moment, we breathe. In this moment, we notice anything that is incongruent with love. And we breathe it out. We let it go. Deep centering breaths. And releasing anything that is tense or fearful. We let it go. In this present moment, there is only love. In this moment, there is connection. In this moment, there is wholeness. In this moment, there is freedom. Or in the present moment, we get to choose. As we breathe in and we breathe out, we choose love. I invite you to put your hand on your heart and remember that you are the embodiment of love. And call to mind a person or a memory that opens your heart and reminds you of your love. That all is well in this moment because you are love. And open your heart wider and wider, that every fiber of your being is enveloped in this love. You are grounded in this love. You are free in this love. And allow that love to radiate out to your neighbor. Just send a ripple of love out into this room. And set that intention that we're going to fill this room with the energy of this love. That everyone is uplifted. That we remember that we are love. And as we take another deep centering breath, we sink deeper into the knowing of our love. And we allow ourselves to take in this love. And remember that as much as we love, we are loved in return. Another deep breath, breathing in love and breathing out love. The give and the take. You are loved deeply and profoundly. And in this moment, all is well. Allow yourself in the silence to take that in. You are loved, and all is well. So, as we come back to this time and this place, we anchor this feeling in our body, and we can call it up anytime, simply by smiling, putting our hand on our heart, and just remembering that we are love, that we walk in love, we speak in love, we breathe in love, and all is well. And so it is. Amen.
Begin from having been another, as a child is born from being in a mother's womb. But how many times have you wished you were some other, someone you see. You can only be you, as I can only be me. Flowers cannot bloom until their season, as we would not be here unless it was our destiny. But how many times have you wished to be in spaces, time places than what you were? Yet who
Thank you so much, you guys. That was amazing. Janine, mwah. Wow. Wow. Hi again. So I do have a little joke for you. A woman came hobbling down the street. Poor Mary, said Sophia. She has suffered for what she believes. And what does she believe? Asked a friend. She believes that she can wear a size 6 shoe on her size 9 foot. Yes, yeah. So the premise of my talk, we're riding this wave of Easter energy. We just had Easter, and we're in this amazing energy. And I was seeing it just like waves. And you know, when you're at the ocean and you get to, you know, you body surf or you surf, and you capture that energy. And so we have this, we've been launched into the energy of Easter. And so my thought was, well, now we get a chance to take stock. We've got this pool of energy to tap into and use. So let's think about what we might want to do differently. How can we go, what I like to say is off-piste, meaning off the beaten path. And the two models that came to mind were, of course, Jesus and Buddha. Jesus was a way shower, and he pointed the way to a more enlightened way of being in the world. But he had to go against some of the rigid societal rules to do so. And when you think about the classic Good Samaritan story, nobody outside of that norm was accepted. But the people who were outside of that norm were the very people who helped the injured man. And so rather than follow unbending rules, Jesus taught us that the kingdom is within us and that ordinary folk could do as he did. Similarly, the Buddha was born into a life of privilege, but he couldn't come to terms with the contrast of his life of luxury and the suffering that he at one point witnessed in the outside world. So he abruptly left his home and family and forged a path to profound understanding of spiritual experience. And so the energy of Easter gives us this opportunity to forge a new path for ourselves. And there's a wonderful saying, what do you do before enlightenment? Chop wood, carry water. What do you do after enlightenment? Chop wood, carry. Okay? So how do we be different with this new energy? How does the new us decide what we need to do? And you think back to Easter and the new way of being that you decided to take on, what did you release to make room for it? So think about, how does the new you go to the gym? How does the new you act at work? How does the new you eat? How does the new you interact with other drivers on the road? So these are things to think about. So you have this energy. Can you feel the new energy? Can you feel it in your body? And think about how you can carry yourself differently with this new energy. And so this talk was born out of one of our great theological discussions that Cheryl and I have, that she mentioned last week. We just have such fun sometimes. And I made a remark that as I continue to do my inner work, I find myself moving beyond a particular theological box. And I realized that this path started when I got to unity. My early exposure to unity showed me that there was a lot I didn't know that I knew. And it opened up a whole new world to me. And it was a great heady time for me. I just was learning and taking classes and reading. And I had this distinct memory of being in class one day. And I'm taking notes and I'm really getting into the discussion. And there was this one concept, and I couldn't quite wrap my mind around it. And I was going to ask a question, and then I got quiet, and I got the discernment of, you got to stop. You got to stop, because your heart's got to get this. You can't get this with your head. You got to go to your heart. That my intellectual understanding could only get me so far. It was like you're on a bus, and the bus drops you off at the depot in the country, but you got to walk the rest of the way. That was the image that came to my mind, that my intellect can only get me to a certain point, and my intellect is useful, but then I got to let go and allow my intuition to take over and interpret and discern. And so on my journey, I continued to peel away the layers of embedded theological concepts that, like needing to be good to prove my worth. I had internalized this belief that there was this sort of nebulous power outside of me, and I had to figure out how to tap into it to make my life work. And if I couldn't figure it out, that somehow it was my fault, that there was something inherently wrong with me. And so little by little, thanks to what I was learning, I began to question this assumption. And this having the love and support of a community around you is incredibly invaluable, because people will hold out for you things that are challenging for you, but they'll hold it out for you. They'll hold out your highest self for you until you can see it for yourself. And I think that's one of the most powerful things that we can do as a community for one another, is we hold out the highest. We hold out the best. We hold knowing with one another until we can see it for ourselves. And I feel like that one of the reasons that I have begun to do all this inner work was because I had the backing of this wonderful spiritual community. So I thank you. And so as I forged this new path, I knew I had to do a lot of what I call bushwhacking, where you just get out your machete and you start hacking away at the beliefs and the thoughts that just don't serve you anymore, because there's a lot of stuff that we carry around. When I got to seminary, I was exposed to a wonderful kaleidoscope of spiritual teachings and spiritual practices. And so my growth process was quickened. And sometimes I would have a meltdown because what I was learning would come into juxtaposition with what I had already known. And you know how that I think we call that chemicalization in unity, where you just have to sort of wrestle with it. You know, you wrestle with it, and then you get the aha. But sometimes you got to wrestle with stuff. And that's kind of where the bushwhacking comes in. You just got to just forge ahead. And so my journey takes me deeper and deeper. And when I graduated from seminary, I continued to do my work and continued to peel away the layers. And I remember one meditation I had, it was just profound. And I got to this place where I sort of dissolved. And I was nothing and I was everything. And it was a very, very powerful experience. I will never forget that. And it changed me in such a way that my theology began to evolve from like a path to a network. And this vision of a tree with all the branches, that's my there is no one path that I can go over here and learn this, and I can go over here and learn that, and there just is this whole universe of amazing truths that are available to us. But we got to let go of the rigid ways of being. We got to let go of that stance, that all or nothing kind of stance. And so the dichotomy for me has been the outer and the inner, because the outer world is so compelling. You know, we've got ice cream and we have fine wine, and we have roller coasters, and we have Paris. And our task, what I've discovered is that our task is to strike the balance. We got to have that balance between the inner and the outer. As Jesus said, ours is to be in the world but not of it. And we're spiritual beings having this human experience. The spiritual informs the physical, and the physical supports the spiritual. So we have to take care of our physical body. And kind of walk that balance. You know, we don't want to be too over here in the enigmatic, and we don't want to be too over here in the physical. We want to have that balance, the balance of the two. So, you have a card, right, and a pen, hopefully. Okay, good. If you need a pen, raise your hand. If you have anybody need a pen? Okay, hands up high if you need a pen. Card. If you have or if you don't have a card either. If you don't have a card or a pen, raise your hand. Doing good. Okay. Everybody good? Okay. So just going to take you through a little exercise so you can think about how you're going to bushwhack through some stuff. Consider your current theological concepts and whether they need to be tweaked or updated. And when I use the word theology, I mean whatever your concept of spirituality is. Just kind of think about that. What does spirituality mean to you? What does the word theology mean to you? So just take a sec before you write anything down and just think about take some stock. Where are you right now theologically? Is there anything that you want to tweak? Anything you want to cut out? Anything you want to change? Is there anything limiting about it? Anything that seems to no longer serve you? Okay. And so these are questions to think about. Do they feel empowering? Do you feel empowered by your theological ideas, by your spiritual practices, by your spiritual ideas? Do they feel empowering to you? Do they feel inspiring? Is it time to forge a new branch or a whole new path? And if you did have to go off the path, what would that mean? What would it mean to go off the beaten path for you? Where might you go? What belief might you change? What attitude, what limiting attitude might you change? Are there any inner rules that you've created for yourself that you might want to challenge? Are there any areas of your life or your spiritual path where you could reinterpret your rules from a new perspective? I know for me, the definition of spiritual growth means I'm getting a new perspective. I'm getting a wider perspective. So are there any things you could reinterpret? And then another question to think about. What have you been wanting to explore? Where have you not dared to go that maybe now you have the courage to consider? Ask yourself the what if and who says questions. These are really good metaphysical machetes to cut through limiting assumptions. Okay. So you can continue to kind of work on this at home. And it might be that words don't come to mind. It also might be that pictures come to mind. Maybe you'll get an image of a new path or an image of a way that you want to be. So think about that. Use this in your prayer time. Use some of these questions in your prayer time. And so again, the wave of Easter invites exploration. So get curious. There's a whole new level of energy that we have access to. And spring is in full bloom. You look outside, the flowers and the trees are in full bloom. And so the natural world gives us this model of life, this life force that flows endlessly and effortlessly. There's no effort to it. The flowers just bloom and the trees just make their leaves. It's effortless. And think about it, guys. We're part of that life force. It flows through us just as easily as it flows through the flowers and the trees and the planet. We are part of that life force. And so ask yourself, how could you open up to express this more fully? How could you do this? I want you just to put your pens down for a sec. And just use this motion to flow. How does it feel to flow? You are the life force. It's flowing through you. How does it feel to flow, to open up to that life force? And you might discover some wonderful aspects of yourself that you haven't noticed before. Spend time noticing, how can I open up more and more to life? To life. Forging a new path takes courage. And as Brene Brown writes, courage starts with showing up and letting ourselves be seen. And so we're going to just do a little exercise to wrap up, and then I have a piece of music to launch you into your new self. Okay, so I'd like you to turn to a neighbor, either in front, to side, back, somewhere. Just turn to a neighbor. There you go. Okay. And so this is about your life force and about Brene Brown. So raise your hand if you're going to be A. Decide who's A in your group. Okay, good. A, you're going to go first. That's good. Okay. So A, you're going to say to your partner, I am here to be seen. And partner, you're going to say, and I see you. Okay, go. Okay, and now switch. Okay. So again, what we do in community is we allow ourselves to be seen. We allow ourselves to be lifted. And we hold this knowing with each other. Okay, because again, life wants to flow. Life wants to flow, and life wants to be seen, right? Life wants to be seen. And so I'm going to close with a piece of music, and then we're going to affirm. And this is music to launch you into your new path, whatever that is. Get out your machetes. Okay, can you see yourself? Can you feel the life, guys? Feel the life flowing through you. Okay, let's affirm and forge my own path as I listen and move forward my inner promptings. My life evolves in joy and powerful. And let's have one more yes. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Yes. Okay. Let us.
Thank you, Reverend Edie. In recognition to Wagner with the Valkyrie, and you make it Brunhilde. Well, now is the time to give from our unlimited abundance and open hearts. As you prepare to place your tithe or consistent giving card in the offering bag, or give online as you join us via YouTube, here's some prosperity wisdom from Creative Mind by Ernest Holmes. We have within us a power that is greater than anything that we shall ever contact in the outer, a power that can overcome every obstacle in our life and set us safe, satisfied, and at peace, healed, and prosperous in a new light and in a new life. We have as much of this power to use in our daily life as we can believe in and embody. Let's affirm now our offering blessing together. Divine love, I am, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And I'm so grateful.
Last night I had the strangest dream. I sailed away to China in a little old boat to find you. And you said you had to get your laundry clean. Didn't want no one to hold you. What does that mean? You said, ain't nothing gonna break my stride. Nobody gonna slow me down. Oh no, I've got to keep on moving. Ain't nothing gonna break my stride. I'm running but I won't touch ground. gonna break my stride. Nobody gonna slow me down. Oh no, I've got to keep on moving. Ain't nothing gonna break my stride. I'm running but I won't touch ground. Oh no, I've got to keep on moving. Never let another circumstance run me over. Never let another circumstance drag me under. And another circumstance, I will tell myself I am bigger than my circumstance. Have to say, hey, ain't nothing gonna break my stride. Ain't nothing gonna slow me down. Oh no, I've got to keep on moving. Ain't nothing gonna break my stride. I'm gonna go touch down. Oh no, I got to keep on moving. Ain't nothing gonna break my stride. Ain't nothing gonna slow me down. Oh no, I got to keep on moving. Ain't nothing gonna break my stride. I'm gonna go touch down. Oh no, I got to keep on moving.
And let us welcome our children with open arms. Yay!
Got you, I got me.
I got us coming together. I got you. I got me. I got us coming together. One heart, one mind, one love. Coming together, 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 coming together. One heart, one mind, one love, coming together.
Good morning. We don't have a lot of kids like you saw last week, but we enjoyed ourselves this week, and we talked about forgiveness. We talked about the importance of forgiveness. We talked about what happens when we're able to forgive and how we can grow from there. And I'll let them talk.
I open my heart to love, and I am blessed with peace, joy, and harmony.
The gentle presence of Spirit guides me, guides and directs me.
Wonderful. Oh.
Let's bless our children. Yay! You are the light of the world. Live as the light. Yay! And let's sing. Have a joy-filled week, forging a delightful new path. So it is.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Last night I had the strangest dream. I sailed away to China in a little rowboat to find you. And you said you're ready to get your laundry clean. Didn't want no one to hold you.
What does that mean?
You said,
Ain't nothing gonna break my stride. Nobody gonna slow me down. Oh no, I got to keep on moving. Ain't nothing gonna break my stride. I'm running and I won't touch ground. Oh no, I got to keep on moving.
you're on the road and now you pray at last. The road behind was rocky, but now you're feeling kinda cocky. You look at me and you see your past. Is that the reason why you're running so fast? You said,
Ain't nothing gonna break my stride. Nobody gonna slow me down. Oh no, I've got to keep on moving. Ain't nothing gonna break my stride. I'm running but I won't touch ground. Oh no, I've got to keep on moving.
never let another circumstance work me over. Never let another circumstance drag me under. And if I'm another circumstance, I will tell myself I am bigger than my circumstance. Have to say,
Hey, ain't nothing gonna break my stride. Ain't nothing gonna slow me down. Oh no, I've got to keep on moving. Ain't nothing gonna break my stride. I'm running and I don't touch ground. Oh no, I got to keep on moving. Ain't nothing gonna break my stride. Nobody gonna slow me down. Oh no, I got to keep on moving. Ain't nothing gonna break my stride. I'm running but I won't touch ground. Oh no, I got to keep on moving.